Всем огромный привет, я Чехью, он же уже Везу, он же Виталий. Продолжаем странное путешествие по игре Dead Synchronicity. И мы нашли обувь для своих плоских квадратных ног, и пора нам уже идти дальше. Так, впереди у нас помойка. Ой, ой.
Oh no. It's amazing. Everything's changing. Everything. Everything is mutating. And I
Меня
haven't even
пугает
moved.
частота. Слишком уж часто это происходит.
anything.
Я не могу даже вперед пойти. Палатки.
A quick glance at these tents is enough to make you realize how forsaken these poor people are, confined against their will inside the camp. It's the enormous fence around the perimeter of the camp. With surveillance from the towers and on the ground, this barbed wire fence intensifies the feeling of claustrophobia in here, making it even more suffocating.
Так, пойдем налево. Быстрее, быстрее, пока это не началось снова. О, одинокий обитатель.
Hello.
Привет.
Hello, son. Would you like to get a little closer to the fire?
Thanks, mister. This is a rather isolated part of the camp. What are you doing here?
Well, I'm waiting. That's all. Just waiting.
Вы все ждете? А чего
You're
именно?
waiting. And what is it you're waiting for exactly?
Nothing in particular. The usual. For the fire to go out. For sunrise. For it to get cold again. I'm waiting for something to change. Or for everything to stay as it is. I'm just waiting. You're too young to understand.
Начинает холодать. А где ваша палатка или трейлер?
It's starting to get cold. Where's your tent? Or your trailer?
Yes, I had a tent once. They issued me one when I decided to enter the refugee camp after the Great Wave. The trailer was out of the question. They went to the families with the best contacts. Ah, you know how it is. Even in purgatory, some people are more equal than others.
Ладно, я не буду это произносить, а то повтор звучит как-то глупо.
You say that you decided to enter the camp. Does that mean that people weren't forced to come here?
Oh, no. Of course not. Why would they have to force us? The catastrophe hit the city hard. Those of us who had lost our homes were invited to come here. In principle, it was temporary, just until the authorities got the situation under control and started rebuilding. We used to have food, water, and a place to sleep.
But now it's more like a prison camp than a refugee center. What happened?
I don't really know. I guess something went wrong. The new housing they promised us never got built. And in the end, the army ceased control of the camp. The food ran out, and then the water supply. Nobody bothered to replace them. Seems like our lives didn't matter anymore.
I see.
In time, things in here started to get very ugly. There were riots, uprisings, and the army decided to close the gates of the camp without any notice. One day they decided that no one could enter or leave here. Well, actually, people still could. Enter, that is. Now, this is where anyone who gets in the way in the city ends up. Or anyone they don't know what to do with.
So, this has turned into something like a concentration camp.
That's right, son. That's exactly what it is. You know, it's funny. I remember when my father told us about the war in Europe, about all the persecution, deportations, those overcrowded cattle cars. That all sounded to us like an old movie, an old horror movie. And look at us now. I guess some things never change. They just stop being visible for long enough for us to forget about them.
And where's your tent now?
It was stolen from me a while back. They fetch a good price on the black market now.
Stolen? But how could anyone...
You seem to be new in the camp, am I right? These things happen nowadays. It's best to take things as they come. The reality of the new world is very simple, son. The soldiers and the moles do whatever they like on this side of the fence, and the hunter and his men run the black market and all the dirty rackets. I suggest you memorize all this.
The hunter? I've exchanged a few words with him, but I hardly know him. Yes. The man who protected me during all the shooting. He seems like someone with good connections and some answers. Could he know anything about the drug for treating the dissolved? Do you know where I can find him?
You can find him in those barracks at the back. That's his... well, let's say it's his logistics office. Now, the hunter is very dangerous. Watch your step around him and his men. I happened to meet his father when he was young. He was a violent, degenerate son of a bitch. A real asshole. And I'm afraid his son has followed in his footsteps.
Let's talk about something else.
Ну, спрашивать его, можно ли выбраться из лагеря, думаю, нет смысла. Ну, давайте на всякий случай спросим.
So tell me, is there any way to get out of the camp?
I'm sorry, son. The only way to get out of this camp is to know someone important who can pull strings for you. Or to become a camp mole. Those traitorous scumbags have gate passes.
I see.
I'm not surprised you want to get out of this shithole. You've no doubt got something to do or someone to find out there. Or they say things are better in the city. That there's order and that things are starting to function again. But who knows? Well, at least they have Reverend Blake and the consolation of Suicide Park.
Suicide Park? What's that?
Just a song that drifts into the refugee camp from the other side of the fence now and then. And the first dark stars come out to hang from the sky. We could sit and count them together, you and I, when the sun departs from Suicide Park. I'm sure you still have some hopes, some dreams. I'm afraid you're just too young to understand it.
Who's Reverend Blake?
He's a preacher who sometimes comes from the city to bring us a little comfort. Now, some people make jokes about him, but many of us believe that he's a prophet. You should hear him speak sometime. His words etch themselves deeply into your soul. That's why he has so many followers inside and outside the camp.
And what was the extent of the Great Wave's impact? How are things beyond the city?
Truth is, I couldn't tell you. In the first days, the chaos was so overwhelming that no one worried about anything beyond their own backyard. We victims were disoriented, cut off from the world. Then I came into the camp, and news from far-off places doesn't reach this prison. I'm afraid you'd have to leave here to get the answer to that question.
I should be going on my way.
Еще один
Have a pleasant wait,
философ
mister.
с очень красивым голосом. Мне кажется, это актер из... Ну, я его видел в фильме «Старикам здесь не место». Помните, где на бензоправке чувак был? Мне кажется, это он озвучивает.
Someone placed a bunch of those rusty drums up against the wall. Ugh. They smell like liquor and industrial oil. Oh, Jesus. The cocktail of odors is nauseating.
Так,
Dented, dirty, and in pretty bad shape. In this corner of the camp, there are drums stored everywhere you look.
Так, ну, нас там ждет охотник. Идемте туда, пройдем. Сдается мне, встреча будет не из приятных. Да, компания веселая. Вот охотник, клиенты, бармен. Так, ну давайте с барменом поговорим.
Stain from spilled drinks, rings from glasses and rust. The bartender looks out from the other side, seemingly bored and apathetic. It's a bunch of open beer cans, dented and empty. I'm not sure why, but I find the smell of stale alcohol they give off distasteful, like all the other odors in this place. He's behind the bar, and he serves the drinks. Now, I don't claim to be clairvoyant, but I...
Hello.
What are you having, pal?
Nope. I'm afraid I don't have any cash on me.
That's no problem here. We don't only accept cash, we also barter. We accept anything of value. That excludes checks, naturally.
Interesting place. Are you the owner?
No, pal, don't get the wrong idea. I only work here. This belongs to the hunter, like every other business enterprise here inside the camp. He's the head honcho.
I see. What do you sell here?
Anything you can eat or drink. Anything that fits into a box or a bottle. For other types of goods, talk to the hunter directly. What do you need? Liquor, tobacco, food?
At the moment, I don't need anything like that, but I'll keep it in mind. Thank you. I saw a bunch of barrels stacked up at the entrance to the building. Just out of curiosity, what's in them?
Nothing. Just some things that need to be stored. Take my advice, pal. Keep your nose out of the hunter's business if you want to keep it on your face.
Okay, it was just curiosity.
Все проблемы с этого начинаются с предложением. Да я просто хотел узнать. Hello, охотник.
Mike, my friend. It's nice to see you again.
Hi.
Guys, this is my friend Mike. He's new around here. We met at one of the cleanup brigade's latest parties. Isn't that right, dude? Pull up a seat and have a drink. We like to be hospitable to newcomers.
Something tells me I shouldn't accept that drink. That it's not a good idea. Not anymore. No thanks. I don't drink.
Okay, Mike. Whatever you say. But I'm not accustomed to people turning down a drink. At least, not in my own establishment, in front of my men. So tell me, what brings you here?
Ну, понимаете, интонация голоса у охотника такая, как кошка схватила мышку и уже не сомневается в том, что она сейчас ее сожрет, и таким голосом. Ну, привет, как дела? Давайте начнем издалека.
Tell me, why do they call you the hunter?
That's a good question, Mike. You know my real name is Hank, but no one calls me that anymore. Now I'm the hunter, because I can find you what you want, when you want it. You know, it doesn't matter where it is, how fast it runs, or where it tries to hide. The new world gave me a new name and a new life.
A new life?
Yeah, a new life. It's hard to explain, dude. But I think in a way, you and I are similar, Mike. That's why I like you. Let me explain it to you. It was the Great Wave. The Great Wave that changed and purified everything. The old world was a messy, complicated, and unjust place. After the Great Wave, everything became crystal clear. When all the old laws disappeared, only one rule remained. You gotta do what you gotta do. It's that simple. And that's the universal law that puts each of us in our rightful place. Do you follow me?
You gotta do what you gotta do. Sounds like a handy way to justify anything and everything, even the indefensible. Yes, Hank. I follow you perfectly.
I knew it. I knew you'd get it straight off, Mike. But don't call me Hank. I told you, that guy died in the Great Wave.
Да уж.
A friend of mine is in a bad way. I need to know if there's a drug that can help the dissolved, and how to get it.
A friend of yours, huh? Friendship is important, Mike. The camp is a very tough place, and you have to be loyal to your people. I like your gesture. Do I know this person?
No, I don't think so.
I see. Well, look, dude, I've heard something about that cure, but I don't know if it's true or just a camp legend. Sometimes desperation leads to wishful thinking. You know how it is. But if that drug exists, I can think of only one place you'd be able to find it.
Where?
There's a small medical center on the outskirts of the city. It's more like a pharmaceutical warehouse, but it's heavily guarded. I bet my bottom dollar that's where they keep anything that valuable. Maybe you should take a look at that building, if you can find a way out of this hellhole, that is. And I can't help you with that. You know I like you, dude. Let me give you a piece of advice. Stay away from those untouchables. From the dissolved. They won't bring you anything but trouble.
Как в любом замкнутом помещении, неважно какого он размера, организовывается определенные группы людей, которые смирились с участью, которые борются с этим. В любом случае, кто-то доминирует, а кто-то, наоборот, превращается в прислугу.
What more can you tell me about the dissolved?
Only what the authorities say. And that's all I need to know. The disease is fatal. And they say you can catch it just by breathing next to one of those untouchables. That's why they have to get rid of them as soon as possible. Have you ever seen one of those poor suckers die, dude?
No, I haven't.
Well, you're lucky, Mike. I don't recommend it. It's a horrible spectacle. It goes something like this. After weeks of drifting in and out of their trances, something happens inside their bodies. Something fails all of a sudden. The pain makes them kick and scream like pigs in a slaughterhouse. Then their flesh begins to melt, to become liquid. Do you understand, Mike? That's why they gave it that name. They literally dissolve.
But that's terrible. Those poor people.
On the contrary, dude, those bastards spread the plague. It's them or us. Understand? Anyway, you know how it works. The cleanup brigades tend to be more than generous with responsible citizens who help them with their mission of tracking down the dissolved.
And can't you get hold of some of that drug for me?
I don't get mixed up in things like that, dude. The army has made it very clear. Helping or hiding the dissolved will be severely punished. Not even collaborators are free from reprisals. You saw what happened to that mole. Those pigs are ruthless about this.
What are you talking about, those pigs?
That's camp slang. The soldiers, the cleanup brigades. The inhabitants of this shithole call anyone with a rifle and a uniform a pig. They can blow your head off right on the spot with impunity.
I should be going now.
Fine, Mike. You're welcome anytime. Remember, dude, here we can get you whatever you need. No questions asked.
Ну, раз уж охотник не может нам помочь, то, судя по всему, дело
Someone
будет
went to all the
совсем
trouble of taking the
дрянное.
hood off an old Corvette and dragging it in here, just to turn it into a tacky bar table.
Так, давайте покликаем на все, что у нас тут есть. Вдруг...
That's the background music for the establishment. The speaker is cranking out a dreary, droning country song, and it's getting on my nerves.
Ну, давайте поговорим с людьми охотников. Вдруг с ними что-то можно будет выяснить.
They look at their boss like obedient dogs. I guess these two gorillas, like everything in this establishment, either belong to, work for, or owe some debt of loyalty to the hunter. They look at their
Так, судя по всему... Ну-ка, давайте еще раз с барменом поговорим,
Hello again.
если... Так, что продается?
What do you
Мы
sell
кликали вроде.
For other, what do you need?
at the moment. I'm not really.
Ну что ж, давай выходим отсюда, потому что, ну, по крайней мере, я тут больше ничего такого не вижу. Ситуация не из простых. Мы находимся черти где, непонятно где, память потеряли. И у нас тяжелая задача найти лекарства. При этом задача усложняется еще не тем, что трудно найти лекарство, но и тем, что если вдруг кто-то спалит, что мы помогаем тающим, то нас, в общем, пристрелит на счет раз. Так, давайте еще раз с одиноким обитателем поговорим.
Hello, mister.
Вдруг у него там
Are
что-нибудь
you still waiting?
появились какие-то
Still
ветки
am.
диалога.
I
Нет,
should be going.
уходим мы с этой локации и пойдем, наверное, направо. Каменный
Although it
дом.
looks hastily and shoddily built, it's surprising to see a brick-and-mortar building amid all these shacks in the refugee camp. No doubt this must belong to someone important, or with very good contacts in here.
Ну, вперед мы чуть позже пойдем, идемте сходим направо. Меня пугает в этой игре то, что все такие филологи идут. Здесь какой-то закуток не очень большой, металлолом
A
мусор.
thick wall of scrap metal,
Давайте
Debris and
оглядимся
rusty
для
metal
начала.
surrounds this place on all four sides. It's a good 20 feet high. I can't believe it manages to stay up. Cars, machinery, steel, cement, even the skeleton of an old construction crane. This place is a veritable cemetery of the industrial age.
Так, ну генератор цистерна. Фургон, да? Больше тут ничего нет. Девушка в белом, привет.
Hello, Mr. Sleepyhead.
Excuse me? What did you call me?
You're Mr. Sleepyhead. I saw you sleeping in Colin's trailer. I'm so glad you're awake now.
I wasn't asleep. I was sick for a long time in that trailer.
No, you weren't sick. You were sleeping. Like a big brown bear, Sir Sleepyhead. Sometimes I used to watch you sleeping in Rod's house, and you would grunt in your sleep like a bear. A great big lazy bear, Mr. Sleepyhead. But I'm glad you're awake now. I like your voice. You sound like a knight in a fairy tale.
Прикольные у нее колготки.
Mr. Sleepyhead? No, that's not my name. I'm Michael.
No, you're just trying to fool me. You're Mr. Sleepyhead. My name is Rose.
There's something odd about this girl's behavior. It's true that she's very young, but she talks like a little girl. Nice to meet you, Rose. So, do you know Rod and Colin too?
Of course. I go over to their house a lot. Well, when they let me out of the van, that is. Rod and his wife have been very nice to me. Sometimes they let me play with Colin. We're very good friends. Are you a friend of Rod's and Colin's too, Mr. Sleepyhead?
Yes, I'm friends with them too.
Do you want me to tell you a secret, Mr. Sleepyhead?
Of course.
I have your old clothes. The ones you were wearing when Rod and his wife found you. I have them in the van. They were going to throw them away, but they gave them to me to wrap my baby in. They'll be cold now that winter's coming.
Your baby? You have a baby, Rose?
Yes, I have a baby, but he's not with me right now. He got lost. Have you seen him? Do you know where he is? I have another secret to tell you, Mr. Sleepyhead.
Back in the van, Rose, now. Move your ass. Get in there.
Another secret? Just a minute. Wait!
Get in that van, Rose.
It's a very important secret, Mr. Sleepyhead. Something about you. Something about before the Great Wave. But first I have to find my baby. Have you seen him?
Come on, Rose, you heard me. You don't want to get us mad now, do you?
I have to go. Goodbye, Mr. Sleepyhead.
Poor girl. She's obviously mentally ill. She's just a little girl in a grown-up's body.
And you, if you want to go in there with her, you gotta pay like everybody else.
Так, давайте почитаем, где у нас тетрадь. Так, Рот обещал помочь мне вернуть воспоминания в обмен на лекарства для тающих. Охотник рассказал мне о маленьком медцентре на окраине города, а Роуз знает какую-то тайну о моем прошлом до Великой Волны. Откуда у нее эти сведения и что она может знать? Ну, судя по всему, с девушкой случилось горе, беда. И, скорее всего, проблема возникла из-за потери ребенка, и, видимо, на этой почве у нее поехала крыша. А вот это, судя по всему, два чувака, которые используют ее как девушку легкого поведения. Не зря же они про цену говорят. Так, давайте с ними поболтаем.
Hey, you guys. You talking to us?
Let me into the van. I just want to talk to Rose for a few minutes.
Of course, it's none of our business what you want to do with her. But if you go into the van, you gotta pay the price.
Got any money on you?
No, I don't have any on me.
Then come back when you do and quit bothering us. We have a very busy schedule, you know?
The girl said something about a secret involving me. Something from before the Great Wave. It seemed important. But what is it? Maybe it was a product of her madness. But I need to talk to her inside that van to get some answers. I'll come back with the money.
Now that sounds much better. I see that we're starting to speak the same language.
Сдается мне, можно с ними поиграть в карты. Так, ну у нас еще есть диалоги.
That poor girl's not right in the head. She acts like a little girl. How can you people be so unscrupulous?
Rose is an adult. She's earning a living. Like we're all trying to in this camp.
Mind your own business, pal.
You're abusing a poor, disturbed girl.
Us? Taking advantage of Rose? Us? You want to insult us?
We're giving her room and board. She's got nothing to complain about. But she's got to work. That's the only thing we ask of her in return. That's the way things work now.
Bring us the money, then you can get in the van with her. Hey, do us a favor and spare us all that sanctimonious crap from the old world, pal. Don't waste our time.
Да, как быстро мозг меняется у человека. Наверняка при мирной жизни они были нормальными людьми.
I don't have anything more to discuss with you.
Так, давайте посмотрим, что там с генератором.
What exactly do you think you're doing?
Я, конечно, понимаю, что это глупо.
Hey, pal. Touch that generator and you're a dead man. My partner and I don't kid around when it comes to defending what's ours. That clear?
Extremely. I was just curious and wanted to see this relic up close. You don't have to get nervous. An enormous rusty tank designed to collect rainwater. Everything indicates that the Great Wave wiped out the concept of running water in one fell swoop, at least on this side of the fence.
Ну вот смотрите, СССР с водой, а под ним генератор. Не правда ли это выглядит немножко неправильно? Так, что у нас есть? У нас есть бутылка виски. Можем что-нибудь с бутылкой виски сделать?
Better not. If these guys are unpleasant sober, I hate to imagine them drunk.
Ну,
I'm afraid that the fuel that powers this generator isn't made from barley.
ну.
To be frank, it doesn't seem like a very good idea to be spilling liquor around here.
Так, что у нас еще есть? Металлолом, круглый металлолом. Пока я не вижу, куда можно что сделать.
Those are the guys guarding Rose. I believe...
Hey, you guys. Hello again. Have you come back?
Ну-ка,
Is that
так
an electric
попробуем.
generator? I've seen very few of these around here.
Yeah, in this hellhole, you can count them on the fingers of one hand.
Nowadays, you can't buy generators like this anywhere. And with the power grid all blown to hell, you can bet that one of these is worth more than your life.
We use it to light Rose's room. We like to protect our, investments. So don't get too close to it. These things are very fragile, and they have a bad habit of getting lost. Now, we wouldn't want that to happen, would we?
Так, ну давайте еще раз попробуем. Вдруг что-нибудь они нам предложат.
Let me into the van. I just want to talk to Rose for a few minutes.
Of course, it's none of our business what you want to do with it.
Got any money?
No.
Then come with a...
The girl said something about it's maybe I'll come back with the...
Now that's...
I don't have anything more to discuss
Так,
with you.
ну. Так, идемте вернемся отсюда, потому что уйдем отсюда. И сходим вперед. Хотя, в принципе, давайте на всякий случай сходим назад. Вдруг у нас появился диалог, который плюется. Мало ли.
Can I ask you a few questions?
I'll answer.
Так. Да нет,
Well,
вроде ничего нового не появилось. Так, туда давайте зайдем. Я так, на всякий случай, чтобы потом, как говорится...
I'm not gonna snuff up.
В шкафе ничего нету. Что у нас там может быть?
It's
Закрыто.
bolted from inside.
Ну, идемте тогда вперед. Если честно, я думал, тут более оживленно как-то будет, но, может быть, впереди нас ждет больше народу. Волна какая-то слишком маленькая, если честно. Блин, опять начинается.
No. Here comes that sensation again. It's like
Интересно, это будущее или
floating in a
прошлое?
dense liquid.
Good God. I think I'm starting to lose my mind.
Так, мотоцикл. Будка часового, часовые ворота. Так. А налево у нас там что-нибудь есть? Колючая проволока.
The barbed wire surrounding the camp is incredibly tangled, and the barbs look like they'd tear you to pieces. It looks like the army wanted to make it very difficult for anyone who might get the bright idea of trying to escape. Dozens of bullet marks and some trails of
Ну,
fresh blood
понятно, что
dripping
здесь
down the wall. Oh my
стенка.
God. This corner of the camp stinks of gunpowder.
Поставить к стенке называется. Так, идемте в дом зайдем. Просто я не думаю, что там что-то полезное мы найдем. Спальня, боже мой, женщина, сигареты, кошмар какой.
Nothing of
Ящик.
interest. The floor of the room is littered with useless junk like this. But wait a minute. I think I can see something sticking out from under that piece of wood. A pack of filter cigarettes trapped under the drawer. I guess whoever looted this house didn't see them. Or perhaps wasn't a smoker.
Hey, you filthy rat! Get out of my house! Do you hear me? Out!
Да, было глупо, конечно.
Forgive me.
Перед теткой.
We've got nothing left for you to steal. Go back to your sewer, you filthy rat! Scram!
No, you've got it all wrong. I haven't come to take anything. But wait a minute. I recognize you. Weren't you with the man they shot out there a while back?
Yes, my name is Misha, and that man is my husband.
Миша, ты мужчина, что ли? Непонятно.
But what happened? Why did they shoot your husband?
It's all your fault. All because of you camp rats. One of you reported him for harboring a dissolved. And those army pigs opened fire without even caring who they were aiming at, or how hard my husband had worked for them.
So the lady the cleanup brigades took away from this house was a dissolved.
That was my mother. I'm never gonna see her again. Damn filthy rats. Are you satisfied? It was you people that brought death to this family.
Why is everything all over the floor? Were you robbed?
They left us nothing. Those envious rats took everything. They'd been hanging around waiting for days. It seems like those bums have a sixth sense about where a dissolved is being hidden. When they saw my husband injured and lying on the ground, they forced their way in and looted our house.
Bums? Envious rats? Who are you talking about exactly?
Them! All of them! Everyone living here in this camp envies us. They envy who we are, what we have, our privileges, our army contacts.
So they envy you because your husband is a mole. Is that right?
Don't call him that, you worm! He collaborates with the forces of law and order. That's his job.
And in this collaboration with law enforcement, wasn't turning in others of the dissolved one of your husband's duties?
Shut up! Shut up! You envy us too! You're just like the rest of the rats in this camp. And what are the three of us gonna do when my husband's gone? We'll lose everything! The house, the money, our privileges.
You said the three of us. Is there someone else in the family?
We have 2 children, 2 small boys. And in this camp, envy eats away at everybody. Now we'll be outcasts. No one will help us when my husband is gone. Winter will come, our money will run out, and my children will starve. Those 2 brats wear me down with their antics. I have to chase after them all the time, but they're my children, and none of this is their fault.
How is your husband?
Как твой
He's badly
мужа?
injured. One of the bullets went through his stomach. He's not gonna make it. He's really suffering. He's in excruciating pain. If we at least had some morphine to ease his pain.
У нас есть виски. Я думаю, мы используем его в этом направлении.
What privileges are you going to lose?
As a collaborator, my husband always received special treatment from the army. More generous rations of food and water. A little money, clothes, A treat now and then for the kids. And now all of that's gonna end. We won't be able to leave the camp. When he dies, they'll take away his gate pass. We'll die locked up in here. Like you rats.
Did she say a gate pass? Listen, Misha, I can help you.
And just how are you gonna help us, rat?
There's something important I urgently need to get from the other side of the fence while I'm out there. I could also get some morphine for your husband. I've heard that things are better in the city. It shouldn't be too hard for me to find some, but first I need to get out of the camp.
Like I told you, my husband has a pass that gets him through the gate. I could lend it to you, but I don't trust you. I don't trust you or any other filthy rat in this camp. Beat it! Get out of here!
If I want to get my identity back, I need that drug for the dissolved. And to get it, I have to leave the camp. I have to do whatever it takes to gain this woman's trust. No matter how unpleasant I find her screams and insults. Listen to me. I'm not just another camp rat. I'm your friend. I want to be your friend. You told me you were worried about winter coming. Let me help you. I'll bring you food. Food for your children. Then will you trust me?
I don't know. Bring me the food first. First you bring me food for my children, and then we'll talk about that pass.
I'll do it.
Так, еды принести. Ну, давайте почитаем сначала. Так, это... Но сперва нужно выбраться из лагеря. Миша одолжит мне пропуск мужу в обмен на продукты. Так, что здесь есть еще?
Some of the drawers have been torn out of this old dresser. Now they're torn apart and spread out all over the room.
Так, а куда туда можно пойти? Так, спальня.
If I get close enough, I can hear the mole through the door. He seems to be writhing in pain from the gunshot wounds in his abdomen. He must be in terrible pain. Better not. Knowing what's inside that room, I have no interest in going in.
Так, а если мы дадим вискарь Мише?
She wants me to get her some food, but she didn't say anything about alcoholic beverages.
Так, ну-ка давайте-ка еще раз попробуем забрать сигарету.
While she's here in the room, that woman is not going to...
Окей.
Someone knocked over them, and considering...
Так. Не забудь. Так, давайте туда сходим. Что там у нас? Задний двор, получается? Вот и детишечки.
Hi, kids.
Hello, sir.
What are you up to?
We're doing target practice. We're going to be real good shots. Someday, we'll get those pigs who shot Dad.
How awful. These children must have seen the cleanup brigades shoot their father out there. Poor kids. And how's the target practice going?
Bad at the moment. We need a real target, or we'll never be able to hit those soldiers.
Yeah, we need a better target. Hey, quit talking to that rat. He's not one of us. You know what Mom and Dad say about the people in the camp. Leave my brother alone. Get lost, rat.
Yeah, you're not one of us. Get lost, rat.
Так.
I'm not going to pick them up. I'm sure it took the kids a long time to collect all those rocks for their target practice. Besides, I bet my aim is worse than theirs. A primitive target built by those kids. Although from what they say, it's starting to get too boring for their target practice. One of the many sentry towers surrounding the camp. And inside each and every one of them, there's a sniper, armed to the teeth and itching to shoot something.
Так. О нет, только не это опять.
Oh, no.
Слишком часто это происходит, не боюсь уже. Так, что делать, что делать? Дети со мной не разговаривают. Да ну хорош ты болтать уже. Так, а если я ему вискаря дам детям? Как в качестве мишени? Ну я ж так хотел. Ну-ка, если сюда поставить. Бу-бу-бу-бу-бу, ладно, все. Так. Что мы можем детям дать?
Hi, kids.
Bad. We need.
Yo. Hey, you. Leave my.
Yeah.
Валим отсюда, тут ничего интересного нету. Так, ну, жрачку, я думаю, можно найти... Найти у этого, у охотника. Так, ну давайте поболтаем с этими товарищами. Тут, конечно, есть большой риск, что они начнут нас стрелять.
Where do you think you're going, Rat? No one leaves here without a pass, unless it's with a bullet between the eyes.
Yes, and we can take care of that for you if you don't get away from that gate. Come on, stick your neck out. We could use a little entertainment tonight.
What's the matter, Rat? Cat got your tongue?
I think it's best if I get away from the gate. I'm afraid their threats are deadly serious. Sorry, guys. I'm not looking for trouble. You said that I can only get out of the camp with a pass. Where can I get one?
Only soldiers and moles have passes for entering and leaving the camp. And you don't look like either one of those things. So get lost.
Well, sometimes we can make an exception, but only if the person who wants to leave is generous enough. And why exactly do you want to leave the refugee camp? What did you lose on the other side of the fence, Rat?
I have my reasons, and I don't think they're any of your business.
What's your tongue, you son of a bitch? If you want to hold on to it.
Don't push your luck. We could blow your head off right here, Rat. Try showing a little more respect.
Так. Ну, это, я думаю, глупо говорить. Да.
So, I've heard things are better in the city. Is that true?
Yeah, it could be. But that's none of your business.
What do you get the idea
unless...
Now,
тесаться надо отсюда валить.
Let's talk about... Nice motorcycle.
It is, isn't it? It's ours. So get anywhere near it, and you'll end up against that wall.
You don't have the authority to touch it, or point at it, or even look at it.
Dare to touch it with your grubby hands, and you're a dead man. I guarantee it. Got it?
Okay, understood.
Представляете, как часто у них трясется пальчик, который лежит на курке, и им так хочется кого-нибудь пристрелить. Наверное, это уже в привычку входит. Ну и в конце концов границы на вообще могут стереться, и можно по любому поводу кого-то застрелить.
Why are you calling me Rat? Who's in charge here?
Well, did you hear that? It looks like we have a new kid on the block. Let me ask you something. If you people living in this camp crawl around in garbage, build your houses out of garbage, and eat garbage, what else are we going to call you?
We're in charge here, the ones with the rifles. That's the only rule you need to know. See all those dark stains on the wall next to the barbed wire?
Yes, I see them.
They're the guts and brains of rats like you who forgot the golden rule. We call it the Wall of Shame. We're in charge here. That's pretty easy to grasp, isn't it? But sometimes one of you forgets. And that gives us some more motivation to make you better students. So, how's your memory?
My memory? That's funny. In another context, that would be an amusing question, but there's nothing amusing about these animals. My memory works well enough to remember who is in charge here. Don't worry.
You catch on fast, Rat. That's a good thing. Now get out of here.
I won't bother you anymore.
Get lost.
Ой, я что-то себе ножку поранил, да? Так, к мотоциклу подходить не надо, да?
A small military sentry box with no door, so narrow that the soldier on duty can hardly turn around inside.
Так, ну я что-то не хочу подходить к мотоциклу. Думаю, это плохая идея, так что идемте сходим к охотнику по-быстрому. В общем, там нам нужны деньги. Здесь нам нужны продукты. Это ни того, ни другого. Так, ну тебе ничего не появилось? Нет. Так, ну, охотник.
Hi, Mike. So what brings you here?
Тут тоже ничего нет.
I should be going now.
Remember.
Так, ну, я думаю, что к бармену подойти и поменять вискарь на еду.
What do you sell here?
Как вам
For
такой
other
вариант?
types, what do you need?
I could use some food.
You're in luck. We have some of these emergency food rations the authorities distributed among the inhabitants of the camp in the first weeks after the Great Wave. You know, a bunch of them just happened to fall into our hands. What do you have to offer in exchange?
Так, бутылка спиртного.
Would a bottle of liquor do?
Let me see. It's a good brand of whiskey, but the bottle's been open, and there's a lot missing. I'd take it, but I'd need something more.
I'm afraid I have nothing more that can interest you.
Too bad, pal.
Так.
Come back with something more, and the food's yours. You know how it works. We accept everything. Cash, jewelry, liquor, tobacco.
Так, а где мы можем бутылку
Hello
наполнить?
again. What can I get for you?
Так, дайте еще раз.
I could use...
You're in among the
Там про
you know,
кредит что-то
what do you have to
говорили.
offer?
Could you give it to me on credit until I get something to trade for it?
Ну, я
Sorry,
отвечаю, да,
this isn't a charity, pal.
Так, ну мне
I don't think I have
нужно,
anything that could interest you.
скорее всего,
I'm not really-
наполнить бутылку. И бутылку мы можем, наверное, только в одном месте наполнить. У меня два варианта. Либо заполнить с этой бочкой.
Okay, here goes.
Так и есть.
It's impossible to budge these drums at all. I don't know what they contain, but whatever it is, it weighs a ton.
Так, ряд бочек. Так, ну-ка. Смогу я отсюда набрать вискарь?
These drums are full and sealed. Why waste...
Так, ну, пошлите сделаем, попробуем проверить одну версию. Я же вроде пытался, конечно, бутылку виски туда прислонить, но вдруг теперь сработает.
Use this here? How? To be frank, it doesn't seem like a very...
Так, ну. Так. С этим еще раз
Better
на всякий
not.
случай.
Those are the guys guarding rope. I believe it would...
Так, что же делать, Так, где же мы можем найти что-то... Так, а если мы с этими... Так, ну-ка, если им вискаря предложить, что будет? Так.
Better not to see them drunk. Their violence could... I don't think I'd gain anything by using this here.
Я просто методом тыка
To be
всё пытаюсь
frank.
сделать. Тупичок. Так, туда не надо. Так.
I have no intention of putting my hand back in there.
Так.
There's nothing else in that shopping cart that interests me. Can I ask you a few questions?
I'll answer.
Так.
Well,
Что же делать? Может, ему виски нам дать?
I don't think it's a good idea to offer him a swig.
Нет.
It's bolted from inside.
Так,
I'm
что же
afraid it's not
делать?
going to
Что
open.
же делать?
This oven is
Духовка.
empty. There's nothing left in there that could interest me.
Нам бы какой-нибудь шланг не помешал, чтобы перелить. Скорее всего, нам надо из той бочки что-то перелить. Так, тут где бы шланг взять? Так, ну идемте туда еще раз ходим. Может быть, у тетки что-нибудь есть. Туалетный столик.
Clothes. There's no... Let's see. I'm not...
Так, давайте я вернусь через секунду, узнаю, что тут как. Так, ну я вроде немножко понял. Здесь вот лежали банки пустые. И я думаю, что это отличная мишень для детишек, которые кидают камушки. Так что идемте к ним. И...
Thank you. Now we'll really be able to become the best shots in the camp.
So now you're saying this rat isn't a rat?
No, I'm not. My name is Michael.
Hello, Michael.
So tell me, why do you want to throw rocks at those soldiers?
We have to get revenge. We're big boys now. And that's what we gotta do. Those pigs shot our dad. We heard him screaming. He's hurt real bad.
Mom said we'll never see him again.
Damn pigs! My brother and I are gonna get them. All of them!
But when they were Dad's friends, you used to say you wanted to be a soldier when you grew up.
Shut up! That was before. I wish I could reach those watchtowers with my rocks.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
That's not a bad idea. Something tells me that a little commotion along the barbed wire fence would be a good thing for everyone.
Ой, что-то не к добру. Он хочет ребят заставить кидаться камнями, ну...
It's pretty late for kids like you. What are you doing out in the street at this hour?
Hey, we're not kids. We have to practice our marksmanship. Our mom gets real mad when we do it inside the house. It's not like we have anywhere else to go in this dump.
Nowhere else to go? So you don't go to school? Don't you have any friends from school?
There is no school.
Господи, какая школа? Вы о чем, молодой человек?
Our mom says we don't need it anyway. We're big boys now, and someday we'll be very important people in the camp. Just like our dad. That's why we don't hang out with the other kids around here. Our parents say they're rats. They'd be a bad influence on us.
Yes, we're going to be brave and strong, like our dad. Right, Michael?
Of course you will.
Так, ну давайте попросим помощи. Не думаю, что это хорошая идея, но...
I need your help, boys.
How can we help you, Michael?
I have to get something from inside your house. It's something I need so that I can help your father. Understand? But your mother is very agitated, and I need you to give me a hand with her. It's a mission.
What do you want us to do, Michael?
I need you to get your mother out of the house for a few minutes. Just long enough for me to go in and get what I need. Do you think you can do that?
Of course, we're big boys.
I'll owe you. I promise to give you a reward.
Okay, let's do it.
A mission.
Ну да, сейчас они отвлекут. Мы заберем пачку сигарет и обменяем ее на еду. Так, взяли же? Да, окей. Все, идемте менять.
Oh, my head! What the hell's going on? Oh, God! My head feels like it's gonna explode!
Michael, please, help us! Help us! Please, remember, Beechwood Oracle.
Repent! It's the sun! Was it our fault? Did we do it? Yes! We did it!
Enough! Please! Enough!
Please, Michael, help us! Only you can do it. Remember, Beechwood Oracle.
Good God! What are these images? And that woman's voice? It's the same one that woke me up in the trailer. I'm trying to remember! Stop tormenting me!
Да идите вы нахрен своим оракулом, придурки.
If not, I'll go mad. Absolutely mad.
Так, что там нам понаписали в бумажке, тетрадки, то есть. Сыновья крота выполнили задание, которое я им дал. Думаю, они заслуживают награды. Эти странные видения, тот же женский голос, что сбылись, что ж такое буквы оракул. Ничего хорошего, ничего хорошего. Так, все, быстрее валим отсюда. Идем, обменяем все дело на food.
Hello again.
Hello.
What can I get for you?
Так.
I could use some...
You're in luck among the... You know, what do you have to offer?
I have this pack of cigarettes.
Virginia tobacco. There's not much of this in the camp. That's a good start, but it's not enough. The pack's been opened and several cigarettes are missing. I'd need something more.
Ах ты ж мод, блин, а.
Would a bottle of liquor do?
Fantastic. I think that's a
В
fair
общем,
price.
выбор дан. Бухаться и
I'll take
покурить,
both of them.
либо
Here you go,
поесть.
pal. The food package is all yours. Enjoy it in good health.
Да, не густо. Ну, идемте, даем еду Мише.
Hello again.
They shot!
Да хватит.
And what are
орать.
the... We'll lose...
Так.
The three of you. I've already talked to your two boys.
Those two brats...
They're just...
What?
Так, не так надо
I
сделать.
should be
Вот
going.
так надо сделать. Сейчас, секунду. Надо тупо еды ей дать. На.
Here. This is what I promised you.
That's all the food you brought? This will barely feed us for 2 days.
I'm sorry. It's very complicated getting more in the camp. I only wanted to show you that you can trust me. That I can help you.
That's what all you rats in this trash heap say? But in the end, only thing you're interested in is taking advantage of my husband and me.
I've held up my part of the bargain. Isn't that proof enough? Listen, let me have that pass to get out of the camp, and I promise I'll come back with the morphine you need to ease your husband's suffering.
Ah, okay. But you better hurry. Here,
What's this? A bracelet?
it's like an ID badge. Wear it and the soldiers will recognize you. It won't just get you out of the camp. It'll also help you avoid all kinds of problems with the army once you reach the city. I'm not sure I'm doing the right thing by giving it to you. Just don't betray me, you rat. Bring me that morphine from my husband, and I promise you,
вот куча
I'll give you
денег.
lots of money in return.
Поговорить
Much more money
с
than
этой
you could
девушкой.
earn in a lifetime in this shithole.
No, that's not necessary. We never said anything about money.
I have to know you're coming back. I don't trust any of you, and I know that money is the only thing that'll make you keep your word. All you camp rats are alike. Now get out of my sight, and don't make me regret this. And don't come back without my husband's morphine. There'll be a fat wad of cash waiting for you.
Okay.
Окей, идем, валим отсюда. И выходим из города. Я думаю, теперь уже можно это сделать.
Go through that gate, and I'll blow your head off with one shot, rat.
Do you need to get a closer look at what I have on my wrist?
Wait a minute. Look, he's got on one of those ID bracelets the camp moles wear. Those cockroaches are very useful to us in here. Lower your gun and let him leave.
You heard him. Get out of here, rat.
Ну что ж, продолжим в следующей серии. С вами был Чехью. Спасибо, что смотрите это кино. Неплохая игра, конечно, очень нудные диалоги иногда возникают. Но, в принципе, она логичная, и этим она меня и привлекает. Да и сюжет немножко такой интригующий. Так что, если не трудно, если вы смотрите, и если вы еще не подписались, подписывайтесь на мой канал. А я с вами прощаюсь до следующих серий. Увидимся. Пока.